So in this video, I want to talk about what are the benefits of being lean, okay? Like what are the benefits I've noticed of being lean myself? I used to be a little bit not lean, a little bit fluffier, and just what I noticed from general people, okay, and my observations and stuff. So, I've always been like a naturally skinny kid growing up, but I didn't have a lot of muscle. I wasn't super strong. So in college, I went on a bulk for a few years. I ate a bunch of fast food, dirty bulk kind of, and I got like kind of fluffy, not super fat. I still built muscle, but it was kind of fluffy. And I was like that for quite a few years until the last maybe 2 years or so. I've been a bit more on the leaner side. And right now, I'm probably like, if I had to guess, like 15% body fat or something. And yeah, I feel a lot better than I did when I was like a lot heavier. Um, my absolute strength isn't as high as it was when I was like fucking 20 pounds heavier at the moment. But I'm working on that, and I do believe I can build up to that level or close to that level while staying at this body fat percentage. And the main benefit I've noticed of being leaner is that like I just have more energy, believe it or not, throughout the day. Like I don't get as winded when I walk up a flight of stairs or when I go for a light ass jog or a run or a hike. When I'm doing basic cardio, like physical activity that humans like normally do, like I would get winded before when I was like fucking super heavy and super fluffy. And yeah, I was lifting more weights in the gym and all that stuff. And part of it was too that I wasn't doing cardio, but like you just are able to move around better, and overall it's scientifically proven to be like better for your health and long-term lifespan to be a little bit lighter, a little bit leaner, okay? And I'm not saying that you should run marathons and be like a string bean type of guy. I think you should like have some muscle. You should build muscle. You should lift weights. You should be like a hybrid athlete basically. That's kind of my mentality when it comes to fitness right now. I think you should be a well-rounded athlete. Okay, you should be strong. You should be lean. You should be like have good cardio, and you can do like most physical activities that life demands. Okay, like I don't think you should just be like a guy that lifts. You should only be a guy that does calisthenics or only be a guy that runs or something. You should be a combination of everything. I feel like that way you have the most benefits that fitness has to offer. And like I think that it's a smart idea to prioritize like certain aspects like for in certain periods of time, right? Like you can't be like super endurance based and then also super strength based and super power based, like all at once, right? You should like dedicate like a few months or a year or something to one area, get pretty good, and then move on to a different area. But in every instance, though, you should be working on everything. You should be working a little bit of everything, though. Like if you're bulking right now, you should be doing cardio, and if you're cutting right now, you should be lifting weights. Okay. The other main benefit I've noticed with being leaner is that like my face and your like it has more like of a sharpness to it. Okay, it has more definition. When I was fluffier, for me, my face was a bit more round. It was a bit more of a circle. Like when I look at my driver's license ID, my old ones where I was heavier, it was just like I definitely noticed the difference. And for you, when you're you might not notice the difference for yourself because you see your reflection probably every day. But like if you look at like a year ago and you're 20 pounds heavier before, you would definitely notice the difference. And this is just something that like people that are concerned about with their looks and stuff like that. I'm not super concerned about like my looks right now or anything, but I know like there's people out there that are really concerned with the looks. They buy these products, these hairstyles and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if your face is not like super lean, you have too much fucking fat, it's not gonna look like as aesthetic as you want it to look, right? If that's what you care about. So that's another big benefit of being leaner. Another big benefit of being leaner is that you have a higher you probably have higher testosterone than like if you were super fucking fat, because if you're super fucking fat, like your body naturally like it converts more of the testosterone to estrogen, and like the food you eat and stuff like that, you have more of this thing called aromatase, which like kind of it's the opposite of like fucking testosterone. It makes you more like low energy, a little bit more feminine, all that shit. yeah, I'm trying not to sound like fucking red pill man here, but like being leaner, you will notice like if you compare the average guy that I'm not talking about this average string bean. I'm talking about a guy that has muscle and is leaner, right? Like if you look at that guy and compare him to like a fat guy, like 30+% body fat, the skinnier guy usually has more energy and like usually like just has more like oomph in his life, right? And that's because like his testosterone levels are probably higher, and that's a direct correlation with his body fat percentage. Okay. Um, the point of this video is not that like everybody needs to be like 5% body fat or anything like that. I'm like around 15% right now. Okay, I think that for men you should be like from like 10 to 20% body fat. Okay, I don't think you should go like too high over 20% unless you are like doing a serious monster bulk and you know what you are doing. If you're dirty bulking, like if you're a young guy, you're dirty bulking, that might be fine for a little bit. If you're really like pushing the weights in the gym, you're really making progress, and you actually have muscle, right? But like for most guys, like you should be like watching what you eat. You should be counting calories, at least like counting macros to some extent. You should be knowing how much protein you're eating. You should be like tracking your workouts and all these things. All these things like most people don't understand, or if they do, they aren't able to like do it on a daily basis. They aren't able to like be consistent with these things. And that's the most important thing when it comes to, your fitness goals, right? Everybody has heard that you need to track your macros, you need to track your calories, your protein, all these things, but like in reality, it's actually kind of hard if you've never done it before and you don't have somebody like helping you out, coaching you. That can be quite daunting, and that's the reason why I feel like a lot of people just end up, eating fast food or eating the most convenient options they have, which are usually not the best options. So like it really does help in my opinion to like to get a coach, right? Like before I was like not really training in the past like correctly and everything like that, and then but once I actually like, and I put a lot of time into studying like exercise science. Like I have a fucking degree in exercise science, but even outside of that, like outside of my bachelor's degree in exercise science, I studied on my free time nutrition, training, exercise science, powerlifting, bodybuilding, like fucking sports science, like psychology, all of these things. And it takes a lot of like studying and a lot of like time to understand it. But if you have somebody that can help you out to reach these goals faster, like you're gonna save yourself way all the time in the world, man. Like you're gonna save yourself injuries, mistakes, like spinning your wheels, wasting, like to be honest, you're gonna be saving yourself money actually if you hire a coach, because like the coach might be expensive like in the short term, right? Like you drop a lot of money initially, but like it'll pay off as the years go by, because you're gonna learn how to like eat healthier, learn how to train better, learn how to recover better, build better habits for your life, develop a stronger mindset, and like you're never gonna have to like think about this shit again after like a few months or a year of training, correctly, because it's going to become a habit. You're already going to have the knowledge you need. So I think this is like one of the best investments, to be honest, that any guy can make, especially if you're like a young guy, but even if you're older, like this is the investment you need to make, all right? Not in the stock market or some bullshit, or health, like you can't just rely on a doctor. You got to take control of your own health, your own fitness, and your own life. So yeah, I kind of went on a ramble, guys, but this is the benefits I've noticed of being leaner, and I implore you guys to try to shoot for this goal if you guys feel like you guys are not happy with the way you look, or you need more energy for 2026.